Hi again. Are you ready for some more dirty beasts? Well, this time we're moving on to the Porcupine. Each Saturday, she shouts, "Hooray!" for that's her pocket money day. Although it's clearly understood, she only gets it when I'm good. This week, her parents had been told that she had been as good as gold. So after breakfast, her generous father gave her the 50p. Like lightning down the road, she ran until she reached a sweet shop man and bought the chocolates of her dreams. A great big bag of raspberry creams. There is a secret place she knows, where she quite often would like to go. Beyond the wood, behind some rocks, a super place for guzzling chocks. When she arrived, she quickly found a comfortable-looking little mount, quite clean and round and earthy brown. Just right, she thought, for sitting down. Here she will sit all morning long and eat till her chocks are gone. She sat, she screamed, she jumped a foot. Would you believe that she had put that tender little rump of hers upon a giant porcupine? Her backside seemed to have catch on fire. 100 red hot bits of wire, 100 prickles sticking in and puncturing her precious skin. She ran for home. She shouted, "Mom, Mom, behold the prickles on my bum!" Her mum, who always keeps her head, bent down to look, and then she said, "I personally am not about to try and pull those prickles out. I think a job like this requires the service of Mr. Myers." She shouted, "I'm a dentist now. Oh, Mum, why don't you have a go?" She begged her twice, she begged her thrice, but grown-ups never take advice. She said, "A dentist's very strong. He pulls things out the whole day long." She drove her quickly into town, and then they turned her upside down upon the awful dentist's chair, while two strong nurses held her there. Enter the dreaded Mr. Myers, waving a massive pair of pliers. "This is," he cried with obvious glee, "a new experience for me. Quite honestly, I can't pretend I've ever pulled things from this end." He started pulling one by one and yelling, "My oh my, what fun!" She shouted, "Help!" She shouted, "Ow!" He said, "It's nearly over now. For heaven's sake, stop, don't squirm about. Here goes, the last one's coming out." The dentist pulled and out he came. And then she heard the man exclaim, "Let us talk about the fees. That will be 50 guineas, please." Her mother is a gutsy bird, and never want to mince a word. She cried, "By gosh, that's jolly steep." He answered, "No, it's very cheap, my dear woman. Can't you see that if it hadn't been for me, this child could go for another year, with prickles sticking in her ear?" So that was that. Oh boy, oh what a day, what a fuss. And by the way, I think I know why porcupines surround themselves with prickly spines. It is to stop some silly clown from squashing them by sitting down. Don't copy her. Don't be such a twit. Be sure to look before you sit. And here's the next story, and it's called The Cow. Here we go. Please listen while I tell you now about a most fantastic cow. Miss Milky Daisy was her name, and when aged 7 months, she came to live with us. She did her best to look the same as all the rest, but Daisy, as we could all see, had some kind of deformity, a funny sort of bumpy lump on either side above her rump. Now, not so very long ago, these bumpy lumps began to grow, and 3 or maybe 4 months later, I stood there and enrolled spectator. These bumpy lumps burst wide apart, and out they came. I crossed my heart. Of all the wondrous, marvellous things, a pair of gold and silver wings. A cow with wings? Flying cow! I had never seen one up to now. "Oh, Daisy dear, can this be true?" She flapped her wings, and up she flew. Most gracefully she climbed up high. She fairly whizzed across the sky. You should have seen her dive a swoop. She even did a loop-a-loop. Of course, almost immediately, her picture was on live TV. and millions came each day to stare at Milky Daisy in the air. They shouted, "Jeepers Creepers! Wow! It really is a flying cow!" They laughed and clapped and cheered and waved, and all of them were well behaved, except for one quite horrid man who travelled from Afghanistan. This fellow, standing in a crowd, raised up his voice and yelled aloud, "That silly cow! Oi, listen, Daisy! I think you're absolutely crazy!" Unfortunately, Daisy heard quite clearly every single word. "By gosh!" she cried. "What awful jake! Who's this silly foreign freak?" She dived, and using all her power, she got to 60 miles an hour. "Bob's gone," she said. "Take that," she said, and dropped a cowbell on his head. And we hope you enjoyed both of the stories again. Now, and hopefully we will be back in the last story, and it's going to be called The Toad and the Snail. Oh yes, with a tummy beast just to finish it off. Oops, and I nearly forgot all about it. But anyway, those two will be the very last stories. So I'll see you there. Bye bye, everyone. Bye bye for now.